Do I have a motion?
Motion to accept.
Okay, so Larry made a motion. Brian, you second it?
I second that. Yes, second it.
All righty. I think we have Sheila's, not
No,
Sheila,
we have Maryland's. We have a proxy from Maryland.
We have a proxy from Maryland. She's a thumbs up, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm a thumbs up. So if Brian and Larry are good with it?
We're good.
There we go.
Yes. Excellent.
All righty.
So we'll post that on the website.
All right, very good. And just so you all know, I have been contacted by the governor's office just to start the fun and frivolities. You got to see the paperwork they sent.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Probably
Maybe
cost me-
hopefully.
Probably cost me
Hopefully what I said
and
said
Staples
something.
printed it all out.
Well, hopefully when I spoke to Melissa, which is the secretary, hopefully maybe push something a little bit.
Yeah.
Great, thank you.
You know, the funny thing is my first takeaway from that is I better change my Facebook settings.
That's about right. Yep.
Yep.
Because they actually want to know, you know, so. All right, but, and the rest of it is it's all pro forma stuff.
I did ask the governor's office if the governor's appointments office reached out to them the other evening about if there had been any movement on any of our candidates, including yours, Jerry, and the 6 names for the 2 vacancies that were sent up for Suffolk County, but I have not heard back.
Okay, well, I mean, the fact that I've heard back from them over the last couple of days is an indication that you might have moved something. Yeah, you know.
No, definitely.
I think the thing we need to follow up on is to see if Nassau has indeed sent anybody up yet. We know we're good with Suffolk. It's just, now it's in the governor's office hands, but it's what's happening with Nassau.
Yes, we'll do that.
All righty. So without further ado, then we'll kick it over to Hector. Hector, you want to give us an update?
Sure. Well, much has changed. Same situation here. I think capital program remains on hold table, but no decisions have been made.
Seems we're having an audio problem with Hector.
November board
Hector,
meeting
you're a
when
little
something will
unstable.
have to be presented about, you know, the. Well, let me take off the video, maybe.
You sound like you're talking on the bottom of a well.
Yeah, I don't know if it was me, but I kind of like lost him.
I think he's trying to reset.
Yeah, and again, just so you know, if you lose me, I will try to get back on.
Better?
Try to say something else. Your video is still up, Hector.
Is this the?
Do you, maybe go out and come back in?
Yeah, let me.
Right, actually, if you are speaking, we cannot hear you. Reaching out to him. Okay, he's back in the room. Hector? Connecting to audio.
Yeah, Lisa, if my microphone is left on, feel free to mute me if you need.
Okay.
If I forget to do it, because like I say, got one.
All right. Okay. Hector is joining again. And here he is.
There he is, connecting.
Okay, you're still kind of,
Am I on?
You
you're,
can also call in for the audio part,
yeah,
Hector.
maybe that would be better.
Yeah, Hector, call
To use the call-in number. Here, let me copy paste it.
And maybe we can hear him on a landline.
All right.
Yep. Hector, you should have. Hector, Sheila just sent to you in the chat.
In the chat.
I was on a Zoom with 152 people last night, and this kept happening to the host.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That
Well,
must have been brutal.
there's something going on with them today. I don't know what it is.
The interweb. Okay. Okay, Hector. You should be in and hopefully unmuted. You have to unmute yourself, though.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's his cell number.
Okay, Hector, we do have you here.
How do
Because you have
mute
to
it?
unmute yourself. We can't unmute you.
So one of you is unmuted.
There we go. Looks like Hector might be unmuted.
One of Hector is. No. And one of Hector is gone. All right, Hector, if this is, I don't know if you're still on. Right. As we resolve these technical difficulties.
Hey, Lisa.
Sorry, if you want, we could just go down to the old business while Hector's getting his technical issues worked out.
Hey, Lisa and Jerry. While we're waiting, you guys still
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
Here's just a little piece of something that we might find interesting. I wonder if we can see what the revenue stream is right now of bridges and tunnels, because so many people are not taking the train and so many more people are driving. I'm curious if there's an uptick of revenue coming from bridges and tunnels. Just a thought.
Mm-hmm. That's an excellent point. That's something, Sheila, we can look in the committee books. We should see that, particularly as an uptick over the last few months, and do a comparison to last year. I just
also saying,
hold on, Andy, hold on. Anecdotally, since I live on top of the Queens Midtown Tunnel, I have seen a tremendous increase in traffic.
Yeah.
Too. So I think Hector's here.
Hello, I'm on.
well,
Hey, there we are.
Lisa, one last point. If you want a direct answer, you can always ask Linda Lacewell or Danny D. Carmenzo for more specifics.
Yep.
Just wanted to get my point clear.
All right. Yeah. Nope. We're on that. Thank you. Okay, Hector.
So I started with financially, things are still status quo. We're still waiting to hear how much funding we're going to get, if there's any federal funding. So any talk about cuts or, or reduction in service or staff cuts or, all that remains unresolved and on hold. And also the capital program, still everything's on hold.
All right. We were also looking for a COVID-19 update. Can you?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, last week we did have our second railroad employee passed away last week from COVID. We thought we were in the clear since July. There hadn't been any public-facing employees that had tested positive since July. We were on a good streak, and then last week it was actually somebody in our training department. A week ago, he wasn't feeling good. He got tested. He had to wait to get the results, and right before he got the results back, then he suddenly passed away. He was 45 years old.
It's terrible.
So,
Was he a conductor, or what was his role?
oh, he was a manager in our training department, so he used to train employees. So,
And they're doing contact tracing?
yes. Yes.
Very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, our condolences. Believe me. We've had a couple of complaints from ridership. I'll try and see if I can get specific trains for you about non-compliance. And of course, everybody's like, well, what can you do? The conductors don't want to get involved. And we understand that the conductors, don't want to get into confrontational situations. But if I was able to get you a couple of trains, would you be able to maybe,
Yes.
get some police on them and just to take a look? And 'cause I think that's all it would take was one or two visits and a couple of fines issued, and I think that would probably straighten it out.
No, yeah. You tell us the train, and we will have between managers and the police. Like there was one train somebody complained about yesterday, and the police went, I think, 2 or 3 days in a row, and it's weird. It seems to be new people. It's not like the same people that keep doing it, but yeah, if you know the train, that we can follow up on the specific train.
Okay, great. I'll push to get specific train information for you, and then as it comes in, I'll forward it to you.
Yep. Yeah, real-time information is good.
Oh, definitely.
So Brian had a question earlier about mass compliance and whether any of the camera feeds are being used to determine what the level of compliance and where enforcement might be.
Well, if we hear about an issue on a train, that's one of the things we do. That we do check the cameras, especially also if somebody said there was an incident, then we double check on the cameras to verify that, and then we actually have people walking through those trains.
Yeah, that's all we could really ask for,
So when they talk about compliance, though, and they put out some percentages of compliance and people's sentiment on it, where are they getting that data from? Is it from observations made on platforms as people are getting on? Are they looking at cameras to look at, okay, there's 50 people in there and 42 of them have a mask? Is it based on the yellow vests walking through and doing surveys, or,
The compliance, I think we have folks walking through the trains, and then they actually, they're doing visual inspections.
Okay.
There's one instance where the one train that we got complaints, so we had managers kind of shadowing the crews, and one thing they've observed was, as the conductor walked through, people had them put their masks up, but then as soon as the conductor, walked past them, then they would bring them down, So the managers had to kind of remind people to, you have to keep them on the whole time. It's not just when the conductor's there.
All right.
So one more thing is, I guess one station we've heard that has, I guess, more non-compliance is Hempstead. So right now, next Friday, we're scheduled to be out there next Friday morning to hand out masks at the Hempstead station.
Okay, great. One other thing I mentioned it to you late this afternoon. I apologize for, the very late notice, but I had gotten wind that Alfonso might be working on a story based on what you spoke to Alfonso about, and then his request for information from ridership, which didn't seem to be like a lot. Can you just give us a quick update on what you're doing with like the air filtration systems and how that's being handled with the trains?
Sure. So yeah, we do have a air filtration system on a train. I forgot what MERV it is, but it's MERV, I don't know, 6 or 8 or something like that.
Okay.
We also circulate. The system also brings in fresh air and circulates and recirculate and circulates it. So every 5 minutes, this fresh air gets brought in and circulated. So that's like 12 times an hour. Fresh air is coming into the train, and that's in addition to every time the doors open, air is coming in. So I think we feel very comfortable that the air is sufficiently clean for folks.
Okay. Again.
And then also.
Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to say I don't understand the technical, but again, apparently also our the air that we bring in, it goes straight down from the vents. So apparently that's supposed to be good because then it hits the floor and it's not going that, it kind of, if there is something in there, it kind of goes straight down. It's not like, going across the train as much. I don't understand it, but that's what I heard somebody explain.
Okay. Again, I personally didn't have a concern. I don't think any of the other council members had a concern. It was just that when I saw that request from Alfonso, it's like, because I think we had spoken once before and you'd mentioned about, they were using an upgraded MERV filter, and I think you also said that they were changing them more frequently than they had in the past, pre-COVID.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
right,
they're letting more fresh.
Is there anything else you'd like to throw in there, or?
Just I don't know if you're noticing since September, almost every weekend we've been having the main line shut down. Most of it has been for Nassau interlocking, Nassau 3. That's going to continue through early November. Last weekend we had the School Street underpass put in, and next month we're going to be closing. I believe Willis Avenue in Mineola is going to be closing, next month.
Wow.
So that's after, yeah.
It's always incredible to watch how you guys coordinate that. It's I mean, to get it done over a weekend, Friday night shut it down, and then Monday morning you're running trains across it again. It's quite an accomplishment. My hat's off to the guys who are doing that work for you.
Yeah, so by next summer, I think all the 8 crossings that were going to be closed as part of this project, it should be completed by next summer.
That's fantastic. All righty. Larry, Brian, do you have anything for Hector?
Nothing here from my end.
Okay, Brian?
No, we hit my topic. Thank you.
All righty. Lisa, can you unmute just in case any of the visitors have a quick question for Hector? Anybody else? Anybody?
Andy, Matt, Jason. Jason has his hand raised.
Okay.
Okay, Jason.
Jason,
you have to unmute. There you go.
Yeah. Here we go. I've been receiving reports that the nice buses are overcrowded. I wonder if the railroad could provide shuttle buses between, let's say, Mineola and Hicksville, and those who travel on the Oyster Bay branch, instead of having the shuttle bus run from East Williston to Mineola, why not have it run to Garden City? That is more safer for commuters.
Are you talking about when they do the weekend work, Jason?
That's correct.
Okay.
Why is Garden City safer than Mineola? What do you mean?
That you have more illumination at night because we know that night bus doesn't run overnight. Let's say between midnight and 5 a.m. So why not the railroad doesn't have shuttle buses running during those times? Because let me tell you, being in Mineola Station at night is pretty dangerous, especially with the homeless situation that's happening in Mineola.
All right, I'll look into that.
All right, thank you, Hector.
Okay. Anyone else have a quick question for Hector?
Andy Pollock does.
Okay.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Good afternoon, Hector, Andy Pollock from Passengers United. Two things I wanted to bring up. Number one, I wanted to ask you an update regarding the staircase at Auburndale. And also another staircase complaint I've gotten is at the Mineola Intermodal parking garage. Is there an update you can give everybody regarding that?
I have to. I don't know what's going on at Auburndale, so I have to find out about that. And then what's the question about the intermodal?
Well, clarify Auburndale. The east staircase had an issue where it was chipping. That's what I was trying to clarify on.
Okay, no, I'll have our engineering guys take a look at it, and if they have to fix something, then we'll address it.
I haven't been able to go over there. I was just wondering if maybe you had an update. But Mineola, the issue I've gotten at Mineola was there's broken plates at the stairwell at the Mineola Intermodal parking garage. I have been getting complaints from numerous travelers who told me whenever they have to cross the train tracks or they're parking at the intermodal garage, they've been noticing that there's broken plates at the stairwell. So I just wanted to quickly bring that up.
All right, we'll look at that.
All right, thank you, Hector.
All right, thanks, Andy. All righty. Okay, last call. Anybody have anything for Hector? We'll let him go. Okay, Hector. Oh, you see anybody? I think we're good, Hector. Thanks.
Thanks.
right,
Hector,
thank
are
you.
you going, Hector, are you doing any of the getaways? Thanks for doing those again.
I'm not gonna do it, but I used to do them. You bought your ticket already?
I did.
Maybe Phil will join you. I don't know.
Great. We'll get all of LIRRCC on the train heading east.
There we go. All right, so then the next thing would be to go down to old business. The first item was the WageWorks refunds. It looks like we may have some movement, but nothing definitive to report yet. But we do have congressional members from Long Island looking to move that with the IRS. And it's a bipartisan effort. We have a Republican senator and a Republican congressperson and a Democratic congressperson moving on it. So let's see if something happens. But again, nothing concrete. But it is something we really, are concerned about. I mean, we have people who are actually hawking tickets at discount prices, at stations so they can try and recover some of their funds. And it's just not the right way to go. Have you heard anything further, Lisa, on that, or?
I have not. And, we'd reached out to Senator Gillibrand's office some time ago and didn't hear back from her either. That would be good to follow up with. Larry, we should have gotten you to make that request while you were down there. But I can follow up with one of the locals' offices.
And I believe the Congress members were Congresswoman Rice from Nassau and Congressman Zeldin from Suffolk.
Yes.
All righty. Regarding the parking licenses, I think we got the information that we requested, and it's been distributed to the council members. So I think we're good. If we get any further information, we'll pass that along. Brian or Larry, is there any other old business that you think I might have missed? Or something you want to bring up?
My old questions were the taxi stuff, but we were
Okay.
able to get the information to clarify it. So I think we got what we need now. So we could probably close that as old business.
Okay. Larry, you good?
Says thumbs up.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm playing a little bit of dodgeball on the George Washington Bridge. I just passed 3 different accidents, so I had to do a
Jesus
little.
Christ.
Yeah, you drive safely.
Yeah, I'm
Next
fine.
time, leave the driving to them.
I had to do a little slalom exercises here.
All right, so we'll go to new business. I don't have anything in particular to bring up. Larry, anything for new business that you'd want to mention?
Well, I mentioned to Lisa, I would like to just see what the numbers of the uptick is. We know that ridership on LIRR is way down. That's pretty obvious. But I'm just kind of wondering what the makeup was now of the number of drivers that are driving because they're not on the railroad. I think it might be just an interesting number to see what the increase is, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a large number increase, and how that impacts the budget.
Hey, Larry, I know you can't see it because you're driving, but I'm looking in the chat portion of the Zoom, and it looks like Sheila sent us a link to that information.
Okay, I won't even do that now.
Oh, no, I'm not asking you to.
I can email it as well.
Please do. Please
That's-
do that,
yeah.
Sheila.
I just tried to download the Excel spreadsheet that gives all the details of that information. For some reason, it doesn't want me to do that. But Larry, just for your edification, Sheila's note said ridership usage has been lower than last year, down around 10% this week, up until yesterday, when it saw the same usage as last year.
Really? That's were we talking bridges and tunnels or railroad?
Bridges and tunnels.
Really? Because I would have said that there's an uptick of probably 10 or 15% compared to last year, based on my driving and what I'm seeing.
Well, when you compare it to the fact that people weren't traveling at all, to what it would be now, there's been a tremendous uptick, certainly. But I think that has been one of the concerns that's been raised by a lot of people, that there's a lot more driving. So, Hector, do you have any numbers on that, or any counts on?
I don't have numbers, but I have heard that I think the bridges and tunnels, I think they're up again. I think there are a lot more drivers using the bridges and tunnels than they were earlier. So I don't have the numbers, but I know I've heard that's they're back up again almost.
So that should help.
It fluctuates. I can look into the older numbers because they're all posted there. But I just know from this week it was down, and maybe previously. I mean, I'm sure on like holiday weekends, it goes up. But, yeah.
And the railroad's been hovering between 27 and 28% for the last 2 months. On weekdays, 20 of normal, and then on weekends, it's in the 40s into the 50s on weekends.
Yeah, I will say I did
Weekend warriors.
I took a train into the city the other day, and I have to say there were some people that were wearing masks on their mouths, not their noses. And actually, the conductor did say something, and they did put it up. And then when the conductor walked away, they took it down. It's just the nature of people, and I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get into a fight on the train, because I have a feeling that's going to happen if it hasn't happened already.
And you have your people who, you know, are used to having their morning coffee on the train or having a bagel or something on the ride in. And, you know, so once the conductor walks past, it's masks down and breakfast time.
Yep. You know, I mean, when I was talking to Cuomo about what happened last night or yesterday with the religious Jews and the newspaper reporter who was there and how they harassed him because of, you know, the whole thing is just insane. People are just nuts. I mean, I don't know of any other way to put it. People are just crazy. So, but you know, I'm personally, I'd be afraid to say something to somebody on the train. I'm afraid they're going to pull out a bat.
Well, that's what I mean, the assaults on workers have definitely gone up, and that's a concern, you know, that because they're saying something, that has been why.
Mm-hmm.
When I was on Metro North yesterday, and at every stop, there was an announcement about making a mask by the conductors. I haven't heard it to be exactly the same on the railroad, but maybe I just don't pay attention. Or Hector, do you know if they're making the announcements at every stop when people get on and off?
We're making more frequent announcements. I don't know if it's every single stop, but we are making more announcements than we used to before.
Okay. Maybe even more frequent.
Yeah. That's been my experience the last couple of times I've been on the train. Maybe not every stop, but you hear it 3 or 4 times on your way in. So.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is that either somebody's going to wear it or they're not. The announcement can be a little bit of a reinforcement, but people are idiots. And I'm being nice for the minutes in my choice of words. But there are people that they're just idiots and they just refuse to wear it, or they believe the president who says that you don't need to wear a mask, it's all a fake, and that's what they believe.
Well,
I'm sorry to say it. But
nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. Ryan, do you have any new business you want to put out there, or you good? You good? Okay. Lisa, can we just open it up quick to see if any of our guests, visitors, have any quick questions?
Yep.
Concerns?
Anybody? Andy Pollock has his hand raised.
All right. Couple of things I want to bring up. Actually, 2. I'm going to make it brief. I want to bring up something to Larry regarding ridership. I actually was by Great Neck last Thursday, and I did notice there is a trend that some of the commuters are in fact going back into the city, which is, I guess, decent news. I saw about 10 people waiting for a westbound train at Great Neck because if you know Great Neck very well, there's a way to get over to Barstow Road, and that's where I needed to be last week. But there are people slowly coming back. And I'm just going to say this for the record. You know, I was on the Long Island Expressway going to Great Neck, and, you know, there really should have not been any reason why I had to sit in traffic for almost 30 minutes from Fresh Meadows. So we want to see more people come back onto the Long Island Railroad. There's no question about that. Everybody says, even Philip Banks says this, you know, it's safe to come back. They're disinfecting trains at the rail yard, at hillside support facilities. So we want people to come back, and I feel that down the line, and hopefully when I am back on the system next year, we are going to see the ridership go up. But that's not probably going to happen until, you know, the FDA approves a safe and effective vaccine for public use, which we won't get into that. And last thing, since this is a matter of new business, I want to bring up to each of the commuter council members that when the Long Island Railroad was starting the mainline work, not one media outlet brought up the fact that the main line was going to be shut down for a whole month on weekends. However, I will bring up Westbury when they eliminated School Street. Only Channel 7 was the one that brought up the elimination. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Andy. Anybody else?
Matt Camper has his hand raised.
Okay, Matt? Matt, you have to unmute yourself, Matt.
I'm sorry, I had a little technical issue there. Anyway, a couple of things. First thing, in regard to the what you guys were talking about earlier with the more traffic on the road and stuff, I've been seeing a lot more traffic on the roads, more people driving than getting on the trains, and the trains are in fact safe, absolutely. I think that is something that maybe you guys could maybe think about, maybe helping with the railroad to tell the trains are safe, and that that it is a point that if you go on the roads, it causes more congestion, it causes more people to, it causes more travel time than you need it to be. And I hope that, this can, be resolved. I really hope the congestion can get better in the long run, but we're going to have to see where things would go with that. And second thing I wanted to bring up, and I just saw this afternoon actually in the press release from the MTA. This was actually, I'm very happy to hear this. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the MTA reported in the press release today that the third track project is halfway done. So I'm very pleased to see it is going very well so far. I'm looking forward to when the third track is done. So thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. Okay, Larry.
Related to that with the third track, again, sometime next year, all the civil work, most of the civil work will be done. After that is just all the railroad systems, to make it operational that will remain to be done.
Hector, do you know when we can reschedule our East Side Access tour?
I'll find out.
Excellent.
I'll find out.
I think we're supposed to go, what day was it? Like March 13th or 12th or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right as
March
How many-
12th, I think.
How many people were going then?
I think we had a small group. I can find out, but we can certainly cut that number to whatever it needs to be.
Okay, no, I'll find out if they're doing them again, and I'll let you know.
Thank you.
I mean, we're probably looking at, what, 6 to 8, Lisa, you think?
I would think so. I mean, it was, I think we were,
Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough.
yeah. There were some people from
Metro North, I think.
Metro North who were interested, and from transit. But, it's, if they're doing different tours, we can do however it is, but it's something that Long Island Railroad riders have, I hate to say the word suffered through, but been living with for a long time. So it would seem appropriate.
Okay, so last call. Does anybody speak now or forever hold your peace?
Yeah, Jerry, I wanted to reply to Andy line thing. Is it
Yeah.
okay to do?
That's Larry.
Yeah, all right. Just in regard to the transportation, Andy, yes, we all want the railroad to pick up the slack. And yes, agreed that it really is not going to happen until a vaccine is out there, available, safe, and all this. But then people are not even going out to restaurants yet. People are still staying in, they're staying distant, and it's just going to be that way, again, until a reliable, real vaccine is out there. And if you think it's going to happen before the election, go back to Dreamland.
I'm being realistic about the first quarter of 2021.
You're talking probably mid-21 before something is out there reliable. The drugs like that President Trump was taking would cost the average person about $150,000 and would not be covered under insurance. For Regeneron or any other company or Johnson & Johnson, there's a lot of trials that are out there, and they're pushing the trials. And regardless, according to Governor Cuomo's office, this stuff is not going to be safe when it first comes out. And anybody
That's
who's
what the governor is
Hold on, Andy.
doing.
Come on,
it.
please, Andy, please let Larry, he's in the middle of a sentence here. Thank you.
And I'm just saying that if anyone who's thinking of taking something out when it first comes out, think twice and 3 times, because it is not the right thing to do by far. And so I just wanted to reply that our train ridership, we have to be realistic, is not going to increase, and it's not going up for a minimum of 6 to 8 months.
We were just looking at a study. Harvard Business School did a study that came out not too long ago that anticipated that about 1 in 6 or 16% of office workers would return in the next number of months. So, that will also be dependent on whether there's a more widespread second wave. So it's, there's a big change in the way people are working.
Well, and the other thing is that
Right.
something I brought up at a previous meeting, businesses have now learned to work from home. They've learned that their employees can work at home. They don't need to come into the city. So offices that have, I'm going to make up numbers, 500,000 square feet of space are releasing 400,000, and they're only keeping 100,000 for servers and for occasional usage, and that's going to cut back on the numbers. I don't think we're going to see the numbers that we saw pre-pandemic for quite a long time, if ever, in my opinion.
Unfortunately, I have to agree with Larry on that.
Sadly, that's the way it looks.
Yeah, it's nasty out there. Alrighty, so I think that's about a wrap. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I see Larry go plus. We have a second on that there, Brian?
Then I'll second it, yeah.
Alrighty. I'll make it 3. So all in favor, aye. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Greatly appreciate it.
Yep, thank you. There's one other follow-up I'm going to send you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
All right,
Be
thanks.
safe.
Bye.
All right.